Hello and welcome back to Baby Reviews. Still at Matthew's house. Hi, Matt.
You're right.
We have another Hill Farmstead beer. We have Anna. This is a honey. Oops. There we go. This is a honey saison that they do. It's one of their heritage range. They call it. They're all named after ancestors of Sean Hill. This one in particular says Anna, 1902 till who knows? Question mark. Was our grandfather's sister. Blah 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 blah. 13 sisters. Blah 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 blah. Honey saison, malted barley, European and American hops, and Vermont wildflower honey, and distinctive farmhouse yeast as well. There you go. So what we have, we poured it out a little while back, but we've given ourselves a little tot. We have quite a it's quite yellow, but almost like a little bit of twinge of apricot. You know, it's
it is quite yellow. It's cloudy as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
So,
put the saison yeast in
yeah.
it, and we have poured the yeast
We
out of the
have, yeah.
glasses. And you can see again where the line has been. That's pretty much where the head started, and again it's going to lace pretty good by the looks of it. Nice and hazy, just a little bit lighter than, and there's quite a bit of very small amount of very small bubbles, very small carbonation, but there's a lot of it. So should we go in for a nose, dear sir?
Yeah. Definitely spicier than
There's a lot more.
Suarez. Definitely like said like the Belgian kind of saison
Peppers and
esters.
esters,
Spicy,
yeah. I genuinely can smell the floral honey. It smells just like.
It's there, but I think there's like some lemon in there. More so
Certainly. It's lemon and funk for sure. I mean, I've had Vermont wildflower honey, and I can guarantee you this is the aroma of Vermont wildflower honey. It just is from personal experience. Maybe wildflower honey is fermented with Brettanomyces. I don't know, but
probably not.
no, I highly doubt it. But it just has that floral aroma that I've kind of had before from Vermont at least. So,
Let's give
shall we
it
get in and give it a shot?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Getting quite light bodied.
Yeah.
Like the Suarez that we've just had here. Initially get some of that honey, that sweetness, but there's just the overpowering esters, I think, the spicy notes. And then similar but different to the other one. You do get like the lemon in the finish. It's not as acetic.
No, I was going to say it's not as acetic. It's not as the other one had a nice rounded at the beginning, rounded acetic note, and then got strong towards the end. This is much more smooth in the finish. And you're right. At the beginning, you get sweetness, but it very quickly kind of crashes. And the carbonation is a lot more prickly in this one.
It is.
And then that smooths out. And then I'm almost getting peaches and lemon, like maybe grapefruity, I suppose. Lemon, rind.
Lemon, yeah.
Yeah, it's slightly sweeter, I'd say.
Less peachy, I think, than the other one we had. But I think the esters work really well with this. And again, the honey's there, and it's all quite balanced actually.
Yeah, and this is as opposed to Convivial Suarez, which is a experimental one. This is their kind of standard range, shall we say, which is unusual for Hill Farmstead. They don't do standard; they do exceptional usually. But this is, you know, it's not meant to. This, I guess, isn't meant to be as blended works with this, shall I say? They are not going for like crazy flavors, and this is just well-rounded, really more well-rounded than the other one, I think, because as we said, there's acetic notes, and this, I assume this has been made carbonation far more times, because Anna's a standard core range. I assume they've done this several times and they've had time to refine recipes and fiddle about and work out what to do with it. But it's smooth. Again, it's an easy sipper. It's a sort of kind of semi-summery one. This is 6.4, so only tiny bit stronger. Holds its weight well in that regard. The carbonation is prickly, but it's bottle conditioned, and who knows, with me moving it from my house to here in the car, and it's been shook around. And
do you think to the mouthfeel?
Give me a second. I think it's fuller and I think there's a lot of carbonation, but it's very well conditioned. It's quite smooth, fizzy.
I think it's desirable. I don't think it's got more body than the other. I think it's similar, but I think the effervescence, the carbonation, really lifts some of the flavors out there. I think mouthfeel wise, I prefer this to the other one, but I think it just lacks that little bit of complexity, maybe.
Yeah, well, the other one had that.
Hibiscus and the
Yeah, hibiscus and the lemon to elevate the flavours, I suppose, in that respect.
I actually get more lemon in this, I think, than the other one. Maybe that's because the hibiscus overpowered it. I got more acetic notes than the other, and more lemony citrus in this.
Well, there you go.
There
They're
we go.
both. I think they're both good examples of a style that is huge and varied and very unusual in itself. Rating, sir?
It's less funky, but again, it's a great saison, but there's just nothing which puts it apart from maybe some other like Belgian saisons. I gave the other one. I actually upped my rating from 88 to 90 as it warmed, and we've sat on this. This is now room temperature. I think I'm going to go 89 on this. I think I prefer the other one. I think the hibiscus just gives it that little bit more.
Yeah, the extra little something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in terms of rating for me, I'd probably give this an 8.5. So in my respect, it's just a little bit, to differentiate the two. Again, the complexity in the other one. I remember when we smelt it, we were both like, oh, and when we poured it out, we were like, oh, it's pinky. It just, I guess, with a little bit more of an excitement factor, the extra complexity in it. Well, this is a great example of a kind of round and thought through one. I don't think it's supposed to be wacky, and I think it's a really good example of. But I remember having like Jackdaw and being blown away by that, and that's a standard. There's nothing special in Jackdaw, but that just had full of flavour, and this is just a little bit more subtle. But again, 8.5 still great. In my rating books, anything above a 7 is drink twice, and this is a drink several times. And this is if you get your hands on Hill Farmstead, you drink it, to be honest, but wouldn't hesitate. So, please like, favourite, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think if you've managed to go up to Hill Farmstead. Can recommend the trip hugely. Until next baby review, cheers.
Cheers.